Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Dean. The crew is here as well. We've got Ryan Lindley from the Sheeple Shepherd podcast. We've got Lachlan Cross from 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton. We've got at Sheep King JB from his own branded Sheep King JB show, which you can get on TikTok and Twitch. And we're all here. Of course, I'm here. Lachlan's here. Ryan's here. Sheep King JB is here. We've got a couple of days off. The reason why we took a couple of days off is because Locke was running around.
The cheese thing,
like
right?
Tool. Yeah, and then we missed the cheese guys yesterday. We were supposed
the cheese
to have
guys keep
cheese
fucking
boutique
us.
Guys on.
Like,
no, they didn't fuck us. No, they didn't. We fucked
cheese
them.
guys.
No, actually, it was Ryan's fault.
Fuck
Ryan
the
fucked
cheese
them. We'll
guys.
get into that in just a minute.
The fucking cheese guys.
No,
I keep telling everybody.
No, the cheese
everybody
guys
said to me, "Why weren't you guys on?" I said, "Fucking cheese guys."
No, it wasn't the cheese guys. It was.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Free cheese for us.
Hold on.
I will
Am I getting free cheese?
Yes. Everybody's getting free cheese.
How?
Yes.
How are you getting
They're
me
shipping
free
it
cheese?
to you.
Yeah.
In the
cheese
mail?
boutique. I don't know.
I used to live like right across the street from the cheese boutique. I could have gone.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I was so excited for yesterday. So we were supposed to have a show yesterday. By the way, hello, my name is Dean. We've got a big show for you. It's shit-eating season, and a lot of people are eating a lot of shit. And it starts with Donald Trump. We'll get to the FBI raid. That was a lot of fun. We'll talk about some shit-posting disinformation Canadians who got caught up in a little University of Calgary, you're a shit poster study. They're not happy. So anyway, I love it watching shit eating. I love Schadenfreude. I love it when bad things happen to bad people. So that'll be the majority of our program today. We're going to talk about farting in elevators in the CFL and Arby's a little bit too, because Locke's in town. We're also going to talk about vacations, who needs them, and we're going to talk about drinking injuries. But before we get there, the cheese guys we were supposed to have on from the cheese boutique yesterday. I was all excited to talk to them. Yeah. We didn't have a show yesterday. Ryan, it's time to pull the curtain back, and I know you're a good man. You'll do it. I get a phone call from Linz. First of all, we're supposed to have Chris Machete from the Kids on the Escalator podcast in yesterday. He had a medical emergency. So that, boom, phones me. He goes, can't do it. Family's got a medical thing. I'll catch up with you a little later on. We're going to catch up with him later in the program. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, Linz, you good to go? And he's like, I'll call you right. So he calls me. God bless him. Love Linz. He's like the nicest human being in the world. And he literally had his man period on the phone with me. Literally had his man period. And after he had his man period, he called me. He's like, totally had a nap. I'm better now. And I'm like, I fucking love working with these guys. So anyway, bottom line is man period and a cancellation. We didn't have a show yesterday. And Linz, I don't know if you want to expound on that. Well, we kind of fucked the cheese guys because we had technical issues as well on top of man periods and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know if you want to get into it, Linz, but I'm just happy you're here and you're safe now. Because you had a tough week on vacation. Right?
You're safe.
It was a horrible week on vacation, if you need to know.
It's supposed to be relaxing and taking it easy and enjoying yourself.
I know. Didn't it look nice on the camera with the lake and everything else? Yeah. Well,
it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't know it was
cottage.
Complete
vacation
fucking
sex?
Pandemonium happening behind that camera during almost every episode of the show last week, which was kind of fun. So yeah, I used the mute button more than that's why I didn't speak a whole lot on the show last week. Missed a couple of segments of the show last week. It was just because it wasn't working out for me. So.
Well, we had a conversation last night because Lynn's called me. He's like, "Hey, sorry, just want to let you know I had a tough vacation week," and then we started talking about vacations and how much they kind of suck, right? And then one of the things he said to me, he goes, "I'm going to challenge Lachlan on the program tomorrow." Because there's no way he had as good a time on his vacation as he says he had. He thinks you're full of shit. And then he and I started getting into vacations. Now, JB, you don't have this problem because you're not a father yet that you know of.
That I know of.
That you are aware of. However, I avoided vacations with my family like the fucking plague when I was a dad with young kids. It was like this thing where it's like, I'm not going on vacation with my kids. It's not a fucking vacation. The only vacation I had when I went on it was when the kids were asleep in the back and I was driving for like 4 hours. I'm like, this is the best part of my vacation because everybody's sleeping. The ex-wife's nice and quiet. Everybody's running down the highway. Everybody's
very
present.
selfish.
And then you get, well, okay, mister. You're the exact same fucking human being as I am, right? And I would see these people. I'd go on my own vacation, right? Like I'd go golfing for the week with my friends, or go to England or Ireland, and I'd see these fucking losers with their car seats for their kids traipsing through the airport, and I'm like, that's gotta suck so much ass. And anyway, we started down this whole thing about how much vacations suck when you have kids, and on top of it, when you have a vacation and you go into the woods, it defeats the purpose of the fucking vacation, which is what Lynn's had to do. And it pissed rain in the woods. Like, he had a terrible week. So I get that he was all full up at the end of it. But he has the same constitution as you, Locke. So I would agree with Lynn's that your vacation wasn't as good as you let on. My theory is your vacation sucked just as much as his. That's what I think.
Here's the one thing I will agree with you. It is very challenging to go on vacation when you have kids, because it's all about the kids. And I have said this countless times. I think I've even said this on the podcast, but over the years, I've said this on my radio show, and people think I'm kidding. I am not. If you have kids between the age of 0 and 12, you are not allowed to travel. Your life is over. It was a choice you made and a decision that you made for you. And if you're going to impose that on other people, the only way you're allowed, because you may have to make an emergency trip, someone dies, whatever the case might be, and you might have to bring the little shits on a plane. If you travel with children between the ages of 12, and I would even suggest between the ages of 0 and 18, you are legally allowed to drug your children. And if you don't, you're being a selfish dick.
Terrible.
And listen,
advice.
When I say drug them, I don't mean giving them hard drugs. You just overdose them on Gravol. Like, I don't know how many times my mother used to just knock me out with Gravol. I went through boxes of that shit. It's not, listen, and I'm fine. It's not
you're great.
Listen, it's not as bad as you think it is. It sounds awful when you say it, but you give a kid 1, right? And they're kind of a little dopey. What's wrong with 4? They sleep like fucking princesses.
The pharmacists in the chat just kind of blew their heads up. They're like, whoa.
We got that's the promo. We can stop doing the show now. You've given your kid 1 Gravol. What's 4? Well, it's actually 3 more. That's what it is. And you're not supposed to do that to your kids. Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen that Thai children's rescue, that cave video that's called 13 Lives? Have you seen the Ron Howard movie on those, those kids back in 2018 that got trapped in that cave in Thailand, and these British guys all went over and they're like, we know how to do this, mate. Get the fuck out the way. And they get in there. Viggo Mortensen's in it.
Australians in Britain.
Yeah.
So the recommended doses of Gravol between children 6 to 12 years old is 1 tablet every 8 hours and a maximum of 3 tablets every 48 hours.
Whatever, nerd.
Don't listen to that. They're lying. They're lying.
Whatever, nerd.
I'm with Lachlan.
Here's what you do. You play a game, JD. You tear off a strip and you go, all right, I'll time you. How quick can you eat all that? Because they got to get it out of the press pack and everything. And you don't do it in public. You do it. You do it in the parking garage or something, so that people don't see you, right? Because they are going to judge you.
You know what I did once? Because we only had I don't even know why. It wasn't my Gravol, but in our house back with my ex, we had suppository Gravol. Have you seen those? The little pills you put in your asshole, like little bullets. Yeah, and my kid was super sick, and we're like, "Hey, do you want some Gravol?" He's like, "Sure." So I went looking for Gravol. I gave him one of these suppositories, and he ate it. And he's like, "It tastes like shit." And I'm like, yeah. Hang on, look at the thing. I was like, "Oh, that's supposed to go in your asshole, bud." And he's like, "What?" Yeah. So he put this in my asshole. It's already in my mouth. I'm like, "Nah, just chase it down with some milk, and you'll be fine." Literally, worked just the same. They had no big issue at all.
Yeah. Just one different hole.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. If you give them 4 or 5. And they eat it all at once, they just sleep really well. That's it.
Yeah. Anyway, my
Yeah.
point was this: I watched 13 Lives the
Not
other
that
night,
I've
and it was
ever
about those.
tried this.
That's a lie. You know you have. I was watching 13 Lives the other day. This the rescue of those kids in the cave.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. It was like one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. The detail in it was incredible. How dangerous it was. It was exciting. It was like tense. It was a wonderful story at the end because all the kids made it out. Halfway through, like the time that these kids are in the cave, Viggo Mortensen's character is like, "I think we got to drug him, mate. I think we got to shoot him." So you know what? They shot those kids up with ketamine.
Oh wow.
Special K.
They're probably
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, they're all good, actually. So to Lachlan's point, he might be right. If you got a little ketamine or some gravel hanging around, those kids are incredibly well
I
behaved.
mean, who
That's what I'm
hasn't
saying.
done ketamine in a cave once, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
it's a coming to life.
True.
I spent most of my youth drugged. I don't like, honestly. Again, everyone, just if you ever need parenting tips,
You know what we're
just
dealing with
DM
here
me.
now because of that, right? Like, have you heard you? Have you talked to you? Have you sat down with you for a period of time? Like, you talk about how your parents drugged you and they danced around outside because they were fucking hippies.
Yeah.
And if you've spent any time with you, you know the ill effects. So when you say, "I'm fine," you're living proof that indeed it is not fine to drug your children. Just to let you know. Anyway, nice to see you. Glad everybody's
Never-
I
here.
will say
problem.
this. Ryan, go.
No, I was just gonna say it was never. It wasn't my kid. Like we didn't have any issues with the kids. My kid's always been pretty decent when it came to
You
traveling.
slapped
And
a
stuff.
little in your wife's glass when she was getting a little mouthy. Is that what you did?
Yeah, she gets a little
Here,
punchy.
honey, here's
so,
a tea.
but no, Kaylee's always been great. It's the rest of the. It's like they say you can't pick your family, right? And I can because they're not mine; they're in-laws. So I decided on Wednesday, fuck this, we're pulling the plug. Literally, as soon as I left the show on Wednesday, remember I said I had to go. There was a bit of a family thing, emergency going on, and Locke
Yep.
thought I was going tubing. We went tubing down the 400 right back to fucking Hamilton. That's what we did. We made it out of there in record time. And yeah, I got home and we literally enjoyed the rest of the vacation on the backyard, like in the deck. And I drug my cooler out. I was pissed. I got my big tent. We put that up. We put the pretty lights in the tent so it looked nice, and grilled up some delicious short ribs, Korean short ribs, and had a fucking blast. And it's like, you know why we're having a blast? Because nobody else is here. And no
Right.
one's here.
That's the whole idea. That's why
Yeah.
this is the thing I never understand. Like I watch Mubin Sheikh, who's a counterterrorism expert. And we have him on the show all the time. He's a beautiful man, and he took his family camping, and they went, swimming and all this stuff. And I'm watching him set up the tent. He's like, "Here's us setting up the tent. Here's me sitting in front of the fire." I'm like, why the fuck would anybody leave their house with plumbing when they have a vacation to go and like just live like a total fucking
I love
caveman?
it.
That's what I say.
Like, I've never understood
cosplay
that.
homeless.
Yeah,
Cosplaying
I
homeless,
like-
and you
I like
spend
camping.
hundreds of dollars of doing
Yeah.
it too. Like that's
Don't
the
get
best
it.
part. Like, do you think homeless people actually look at us and go, "You fucking assholes"? You fucking
Probably.
assholes.
You know-
what I mean?
You know what I like about, because my wife has a term for me. She refers to it as vacation
Dickhead.
lock, and that's not an endearing term. And so we have had different types of vacations over the years, and the problem with me is I am such a routine whore. Like I love my routines and I love structure. And so when we go on vacation and it's just like, so what's the plan today? And it's just, oh, we're just going to hang around with your mother-in-law. Okay. That is terrifying to me. But the idea of camping is nice. And my wife and I really enjoy going out by ourselves because you go out and the day is structured. I'm going to get up. I'm going to make coffee. I'm going to put the bacon on. We're going for a hike. We're going to go for a swim. We're going to come back. We're going to play cards. What do we have for dinner? Da, 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 da. There's this routine. I'm going to start the fire when it gets dark. Like we got to get, like, there's these elements of a plan. And that, I think that's why I think the camping thing appeals to me in the way I'm wired, if I'm being honest, because the last vacation I had was primarily camping with the wife. And that was very enjoyable. We had a really good time, and I'm not bullshitting you. When
still
you
don't
take
believe
me
you.
out
I
of
still
my
don't believe it
day-to-day
either.
routine, I get a little
Little shook.
swingy.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess we should be asking
right.
her about the vacation. We really
That'll
shouldn't
never
be
happen.
asking you.
Dude. Do you know how many times I've asked Locke to put Deb on the phone to like even just like the other night was the first time couple nights ago. He was like every time we talk, he's doing some kind of domestic thing. So he was on a ladder and he's like, "Hang on, Dean. Deb wants to talk. Deb wants to talk to you." So I want to talk to. So he hands Deb the phone. It was the first time he's ever done that because it'll be in a conversation. I'm like, "Hey, how's Deb?" He's like, "Yeah, it's good. Got to go. See you later." Like he does not want me to talk to her at all. So she's never coming on this show.
I remember
Dean has this.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Locke.
Dean has this ability to suck things out of my wife that are like, I don't know what it is. Like he's like this.
Look at JB. Maybe that's why you don't want me talking to her. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the way my mind goes with every conversation, you can't say things like that around me.
All right.
No, I'm thinking back of when Lachlan,
JB.
when Lachlan and his wife came to Toronto, and how much anxiety there was that was built up around the Friday night dinner. And Lachlan was, well, I don't know if we should do this. I don't know. Do we really want to do? He was trying to talk everybody out of going for dinner. So.
Yeah, well, it's because Deb's got him by the nuts. Oh, yeah, you were.
Yeah,
you were like, I don't know, guys, I might get into trouble if I go.
Knew we were going to a steakhouse where the cheapest thing on the menu was $125.
Different dinner. That one, that was the one we were all at.
That thing. Yeah.
You know, that was the dinner I got to go to. That was a lot of fun. It was just 4 hours. Yeah. Basically, I watched a domestic develop for 4 hours. It was a lot of fun.
Dean was part of the Alberta
Jerry
Inquisition.
Springer.
It was live Jerry Springer, JB. It was fucking incredible. Before we get on to Donald Trump's life being a shithole and everybody else that has followed him and has subscribed, just shit-eating season. All the people are going down. It's the fucking best. Before we get to that kind of stuff, I just want to play this because, Locke, this was sent to us. I think we put it out on the weekend. This is a great question, and it has to do with you. And it's someone in a Tiger Cat shirt, and they bring up a good thing. You know how during the pandemic, so many businesses closed? There are a couple that didn't, that a lot of people are going, what the fuck is that? Just bring this one to your attention. If you could watch this, it'd be great. Here you go.
There's something we did before COVID that you can't believe we did.
Eat at Arby's? I mean, like, when you really think about it, so many local businesses closed down because of the pandemic, but how the fuck is Arby's still open? Who's eating there?
It's a good question.
Arby's is a front for drugs. There's no other option.
Here's the thing.
It's got to be a flop house, or it's got to be like a nexus for some kind of underground
human
business.
trafficking or something.
I've never seen anybody in an Arby's drive-through. I've never seen a car in front of an Arby's. Never in my life. The only person, Locke, you know this. You're the only person I know that eats there. The only human being. JB, do you eat there? Yes, no?
Fuck no. Like,
no, okay.
I would.
Linz?
Oh, God,
no. Fuck no. No.
You seen the food I make?
Yep. Yeah. Locke,
when's the last time, JB? When's the last time you've eaten anything that bled?
Literally 20 minutes before I was on air.
Okay. All right.
Was it a fetish?
You have a very vegan look. That's all. I'll just say that.
I eat exclusive. I should have scurvy with the things I eat. Like I exclusively eat meat.
Called that one wrong.
Yeah.
No,
here's the thing. This is what's happened with Arby's.
Yeah.
Okay. Nickelback is a decent rock band. They put on a decent show.
Here we go.
Are they the best rock band on the planet? No, absolutely not. Do they have a formula when they go into the studio to write catchy tunes that might end up getting played on rock radio? Yes. Are they the only rock band that has are they the only band that has a formula when it comes to producing hooks and melody lines that are catchy to the ear? No. For some reason, all the hipsters jumped on this I hate Nickelback thing. And probably fucking half of them own Nickelback records, and the other half of them probably went to a Nickelback show at some point.
I've been to two. Lives. I've been to two Nickelback shows. Don't mind the band, not the guy that shits on them. I know it's really in vogue to still do that. I'm not that guy.
It is.
When I hear Photograph, I turn it up. I always do.
That's the one I don't like.
It's cool to hate Nickelback. It always has been for the hipster crowd, right?
Yeah.
That's what's happening with Arby's, because that Brock, I don't know him, but I know enough about him that he is just trying to be a hipster, cool cat, rock and roll DJ. And it's just cool for him to do a little shout out at art. There's Arby's shame out there, and it needs to end. Arby's is a good restaurant. And you know what? Okay. They make a decent beef and cheddar and a half decent chicken sandwich. And I have no problem telling people that I eat at Arby's.
See,
congratulations.
I started dating somebody who made me go get them Arby's, and I dumped her.
Did you really? Over the Arby's?
No, but it was definitely like, she's like, hey, can you go pick me up some, like, I think cheese fries at Arby's or something? And I'm like,
oh, so good.
I'm like, okay. And I went through the drive-through alone, because nobody ever goes to Arby's. I think they were even surprised that I showed up.
See you?
You look like a vegan.
No, it wasn't that. It was just, and I handed her the cheese fries, and I watched her eat it, and I'm like, it wouldn't be so bad if there was actually people there. Like, if I actually saw people going at a regular basis, I'd be like, okay, yeah, okay, it's a place people go. But the fact that people don't go there, at least that I've seen, makes it even weirder for me, and that's why I avoid it even more.
Well, that's why this kid in the Tiger Cat shirt brings up a good point. Like, I mean, of all the businesses that died during the pandemic, maybe Arby's just runs a really lean machine. I don't know. But like it's beyond common sense to me that they're not out of business like everybody else. Because I don't know
beef
anybody
and cheddar
other than
and curly fries.
No word of a lie.
Fucking awesome. That's a good lunch.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
No,
it isn't. It's a terrible lunch.
Yeah.
It's the most flavorless food in fast food. I'd rather eat at a Burger King than a fucking Arby's, to be honest.
Yeah, I would
I'm not
too.
a big burger. I've never been a big Burger King fan.
No, me neither. Yeah. I don't like Burger King, but I would eat there before I'd eat at Arby's. I think it goes in descending order from 1 down to 3. It goes Wendy's for me, then McDick's, and then, maybe Burger King, or I might throw in a little Subway.
Harvey's has good burgers.
Harvey's wouldn't go to Harvey's just because the lineup's forever, and everybody's like, I'll have 46 pickles. I'll have 21 onions, and I'd like 1 ounce, just 1 ounce of sauce. That's it. And it takes the fucking ever. Because you're sitting, the your way stuff is bullshit. I'll never go to to Harvey's again. Because they're like, how would you like it? And some guy's like, hang on a second. I'm on the spectrum, so it's going to take me 45 minutes just to figure out what I want, how I want it my way. I'm on the burger spectrum. I'm not too sure. Yeah, so that's
I've never been a Harvey's guy either. But Harvey's is very popular out here.
Yeah. All right.
Same here.
Speaking of fast food, gentlemen, it is shit-eating season. Yesterday, around this time, news broke that Donald John Trump, the 45th president of the United States of America, had his home at Mar-A-Lago raided by the FBI with a legal search warrant signed off by a Trump-appointed judge, signed off on by an FBI director that was appointed by Donald Trump as well. And it went from bad to fucking awesome yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw some of the fallout, but old Trumpy's in bad shape. This is Michael Cohen finding out, his former lawyer. Look at him with the fucking thumbs up.
How did I miss this?
He's like, the look on your face when you learn the FBI just raided Mar-A-Lago. Mar-A-Lago. And Trump is shitting a brick. Karma boomerang, he says. Not just there, but some of the other folks. This guy Jack, who's funny. FBI broke into my safe at Mar-A-Lago. Full stop. Secret documents I stole to sell to the highest foreign bidders. Everybody is getting after him today, and it's not just him that's in trouble. It's like
you think he was selling
who's
documents?
Associated with him. Well, here's the deal. I'll read this to you. This is from NBC, New York Times, Monday, yesterday, first reported. FBI focused on the National Archives material. Hours before agents searched Trump's residence, the FBI notified the Secret Service about the Bureau's plan to execute the warrant. According to Secret Service officials, the Secret Service facilitated the access to the property because he's got Secret Service that protect him, right? Because he's a former president. Did not participate in the search. So Justice Department headquarters, a spokesperson declined to comment. Officials at the FBI field offices in Washington and Miami also declined to comment. A senior law enforcement official in Florida confirmed there was law enforcement activity at Mar-A-Lago on Monday. The White House said it had no idea. We just did not have notice of the reported action, referring to the Justice Department. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. But a senior government official told NBC News that the FBI was at Mar-a-Lago for a majority of the day, confirmed that the search warrant was connected to the National Archives. Trump then this year had to return 15 boxes of documents that were improperly taken from the White House and the National Archives. And listen, this isn't just a moving mix-up. You know, sometimes where you get like a couple of boxes and you're like, oh, fuck, I don't know how that made that into my moving truck. This was intentional. In mid-January 2022, the National Archives and Records Administration arranged for the transport from Mar-a-Lago property of 15 boxes contained presidential records following the discussions with President Trump's representatives. Same month, National Archives Records basically said, we need more shit. There's a bunch of stuff missing. Here's where it gets interesting. Not only is a bunch of stuff missing, apparently he's been flushing a bunch of stuff down the toilet. No word of a lie.
Yeah, did you see those pictures?
Yeah, I've got them. Axios put out Maggie Haberman's in her forthcoming book about the president and White House staff resident periodically found wads of toilet paper and believed the former president, notorious destroyer of Oval Office documents, was flushing them. Destroying records that should be preserved is illegal. Trump said he didn't do it, and he called Maggie Haberman a maggot. Of course he did. Turns out there are photos, and this is in his handwriting. These are the photos. The one on the left is from the White House. The one on the right is from a trip that he was on I think 2-3 years ago. This is from a hotel overseas. Not sure which hotel it's from, but so apparently that is the issue, is that they're afraid. This is my understanding as it sits today, as things have evolved. They're afraid, the FBI, maybe the CIA, not too sure. They're afraid that they don't have access to some stuff that is so fucking top secret, as some people are pointing out, that they're afraid to even talk about it. This woman named Carolyn Maloney, she's a New York Democrat, sent a letter saying some of the stuff is basically so intense, there's no way we can even announce what it is that he has because it's that fucking top secret. Different things that are going around in terms of what it was that they recovered. State secrets, military secrets, damaging and damning information on certain politicians that he'd been keeping, you know, because he liked to do that kind of shit with his buddy David Pecker from the National Choir, if you remember that. Fuck, that made me laugh. Among things, he's taken a bunch of things. So they left with a moving truck and took a whole bunch of shit yesterday. As far as his response, it's been fucking awesome. Donald Trump has released a couple of statements basically saying, this is the far left, radical left. It's a dark time in our nation. They're coming for me and they're coming for you. And those talking points have been repeated by every single one of the people whose name is in a book in the safe, because that's what Donald Trump said. He's like, they even took stuff out of my private safe. And I'm like, well, fuck, of course
my love
you did,
letters
you
from
idiot.
Putin.
My love letter from Putin. My love letter from Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un, yeah.
But watching people now scared shitless that are on notice because they're part of his world and their name probably appears in a bunch of papers that the FBI now has. Monica Crowley, she's just a fucking news person. She's like, this is it. This is the hill to die on. Oh, yeah, I hope so. Lauren Boebert, remember her?
Oh, this is it's part of the Seditious Six. She's so good.
The GOP, she says, must set up a select committee to investigate the FBI's politically motivated raid on Mar-a-Lago and all the fraudulent persecution of President Trump from our government. This cannot wait. We're turning into a banana republic. Jack Posobiec, this guy's the biggest piece of shit on the planet. It's like we're living through the times our forefathers warned of. And it's all the same stuff. It's all the same people. To the point where Lauren Boebert released a video. Might be my favorite video of the year. Like, it's you can see this woman shitting her fucking
QAnon,
pants.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, she recorded this from
her
Cambodia when she fled the country because she's afraid that they're coming for her. Like, she's in some tropical destination. Like,
seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, it's the fucking one of the weirdest videos you'll ever see. And the reason why I wanted to play it is because Lauren appears to be very, very, very scared. You know, when you're listening to someone and they're like, this is happening and this is happening, and their lip quivers and they've got this distant look in their face. Well, meet Lauren Boebert. who demanded one of her other tweets was defund the FBI. So now these are the same people that campaigned against defunding the police are now like, let's defund the police. But watch this video. She's shitting her fucking pants.
Guys, I'm pissed. We are a nation of law and order, and this raid by the FBI on President Trump's home is totally un-American. This is Gestapo crap, and it will not stand.
Do you see that look on her face at the end? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How-
She's
how-
got
how
her
do you think she's
lawyer
feeling?
holding up cue cards in the back corner, being like, shut up.
At least she got the word Gestapo right, unlike Marjorie Trailer Green when she called her.
Why is she? But why would she be hiding? I don't understand.
Well,
asked
I
for a
think
pardon.
Ryan's just kind of joking around about her hiding, but it sure looks like she's gone into hiding.
Okay.
I mean, look at the fucking. No one knows where she is.
So that's
A
oh,
lot of
you
these
just
people-
you were just trying
alleged-
to make
Sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
What?
Anybody?
No,
Who's
I was
next?
just going to say she was one of the alleged individuals, along with Marjorie Taylor Greene, that begged Donald Trump for a pardon after January 6th, right?
Yeah.
Because of
oh,
their. And the thing with pardons is usually when you ask for a pardon, you're admitting guilt. You're saying, I'm guilty, but I'm not a bad person. Please forgive me, right? Please don't let me serve time for my crime. And that's what she did. So I think she's shitting bricks right now that the FBI is now going after Trump. And then in true fashion, shit runs downhill, right? So they'll go after him.
Yeah.
Maybe they find stuff. Maybe they don't. Okay, great. We don't. But who else has now been involved in this chain, right?
Hmm.
So somebody just.
Well, I
gave
know
me
one
money.
person who appears to be acting very guilty is Marjorie Taylor Greene. As you pointed out, this is her first tweet. Save America! Stop communism! Impeach Joe Biden!
Just
Please.
firing it, and it's like a monkey with a shotgun right there.
And now
So
she's
good.
she is full on QAnon that one, right?
Oh yeah, that's the one that called it
Yeah.
the Gazpacho. Remember?
Yeah.
And the
The
Jewish
Gestapo.
space
Yeah.
lasers.
The
lasers.
Jewish space lasers. Yeah,
Yeah, she thought
And
there
she
were
brings
Jewish
up the
space-
pizza place and everything, right?
everything.
Pizzagate, yeah.
Pizza yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm not-
it's crazy.
I'm not sure where Bobert went, but at least that means we know she's vaccinated. That's been fun.
Because that
That's
didn't
a
look.
fun thing
I've
to
never
know.
been to Colorado, but that didn't look a lot like Colorado to me. That looked a
No.
little bit more
No.
southern than
So
that.
More tropical.
So do
I
you
was
think
doing- Go ahead.
do you think that this is I mean, I'm surprised by this. I'm not surprised he has a bunch of documents at Mar-A-Lago, but do you think this leads to some sort of concerted effort to actually arrest him for something? Because I mean, I don't know. I go back and forth with my thoughts on whether or not he's actually ever going to see a day in court or any like. It's just amazing. The system down there is so fucked up, right? Like I was joking this morning that I mean, hey, OJ had an 11:41 tea time, and Bill Cosby was, at Starbucks this morning picking up his latte. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. These people are
America's
like,
not the
guilty.
country where
They
like the
do
really
heinous
wealthy
things.
people. Yeah, they have a way of getting away with it. JB, you answer, and then I'll go. Or Lindsay, you can go. Go ahead.
I think a couple things that's important to note is that when there's a transition of power, what the U.S. has been doing since the 1700s, there's a process, right? All the records from the White House and any like Camp David and all these places get sent to the National Archive, which just didn't happen in this case. So not only is there the whole January 6th question about whether he incited and this, that, and the other, there's also this other process that didn't happen. And the National Archives, which was subpoenaed by the Justice Department, said, no, we never got them. We asked for them. And then I was reading last night that the Justice Department went to Mar-a-Lago and said to them, hey, we know you have these documents, secure this room. And they had to put a special lock on the door and have Secret Service guarding the room because that's how classified these documents were, right? It's just for the question is whether or not how sensitive these documents are. And if we're talking about state secrets, we're talking about, stuff that could put the U.S. institution at risk if it got into the wrong hands. That's a pretty big deal. Right. And I think the U.S. Justice Department will want to pursue that. And the fact that it's Donald Trump, the fact that it's the former president, we're not talking like Jimmy Carter, former president, or like Ronald Reagan, not presidents ago, like the former president of the United States. The fact that they got a warrant signed off for a search warrant at his private address in Florida by what I'm reading is a Trump-appointed judge in the court of the district court in DC area where this happened, where this was alleged to happen. And then Miami FBI office in a Trump state going and actually serving this warrant is a pretty big deal. And there was an expert on CNN last night that I was watching that says, like, any
you watch
one of those
CNN,
I know,
lefty rube.
I know, I'm just a communist. I know. No, but he made a very good point that, like, at any point in that process, one of those people could have said no, right? The search warrant could have been granted by the judge. Great. But the Miami FBI office said, we don't really have much to really run on here, or we don't feel comfortable bringing our officers in there. But the fact that they worked with the Secret Service to conduct the search warrant, let them know they were coming, means that they know that there's something going on, and they have a lot of fucking evidence to prove it. Right?
Yeah, so I had a chat last night with someone who may or may not have worked for one of those 3 government agencies. And I said to him, y'all know who he is. I said to him, what kind of burden of proof do they need to be able to literally raid the most recent former president's home? And he's like, let me put it to you this way. If you don't have a mountain of evidence, not circumstantial, rock solid evidence, if you don't have a mountain of it, you can't raid anybody. You got to have proof, legitimate, hard proof, and lots of it for the FBI to conduct a raid. Because what happens is the judge that signs off on the FBI search and seizure is accountable for any wrongdoing in that search and seizure, right? As is the agency which does the actual search and seizure, which serves the warrant. Now, when it's a former president, I said, rules have changed, right? He goes, Dean, I cannot describe to you how intense this is. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, to actually go and invade President Trump, invade, he used the word invade, to go in and to not give a fuck about any repercussions means 2 things. One is that the mountain of evidence is Himalayan. It's the Everest of fucking evidence, number 1. Number 2, that it is so urgent because they, A, don't trust that person with those documents, or B, they have it on good authority that he is using those documents and selling or allowing other people to have access to that stuff, which is absolutely detrimental to national security of the United States of America. So, having said all that,
it's so hard to believe.
They've got a rat somewhere that we just don't know about, and then they're not making it public, and that's why. There's somebody that was next to it, and they've got rock solid evidence.
It just seems like such a stand-up guy.
I know, right? It's hard to believe it's happening. It's hard to believe. But dude, there's JB's point. Sorry, I just want to cap that off, and then I'll turn it over to you. To JB's point, the judge that signed off on it demanded that they have evidence where it's like open and closed. And so did Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, both of which are Trump appointed, to the point where I actually put out a tweet that Donald Trump put out 5 years ago when he hired Christopher Wray. He's like, he's the most upstanding, best FBI director we'll ever have. He's the best guy I've ever met. He's going to be fucking awesome. He's going to whip this place into shape. All of a sudden, he gets served this fucking subpoena. He's like, hey, we're going to have him come into your house and go into the basement and take a bunch of your shit. You're a fucking criminal. And he's like, this is an outrage. This is a witch hunt. And every fucking idiot is saying it. To that point, I'll play you a video of some people that are literally, there's like a memorial growing outside of Mar-A-Lago, and the quality of people attending this memorial is incredible. We'll get to that.
Memorial?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean he's dead?
No, not yet. But
I mean, like a vigil.
Dawn had a fucking
rest
seizure.
in peace, the safe.
It's a living vigil. But to Lachlan's question
really?
about...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not. We got a bit of a weird delay here, Ryan. Linz, I've got something going on here.
Yeah, something's happening on your side. I know, but anyway, the to your question earlier, and I thought the same thing. Is like, are they actually going to put him in prison? Probably not. But what I think they're doing is they're just trying to block him from running again and not giving him the opportunity, because in the actual law, it says whoever having custody of the presidential records willfully and unlawfully conceals, removes, mutilates, obliterates, falsifies, or destroys the same shall be fined or imprisoned not more than 3 years or both, and shall be disqualified from holding any office under the United States of America. So I think that last part is what they're trying for, to put an end to this fucking Trump Republican fucking craziness that's happening down there. And it's like cutting the snake's head off. I think that's kind of what they're going for. Yeah, I don't see him. I don't see him going to prison. I really don't. I see them cutting a deal. I see them making sure that he can never run for office again, and hoping that he fucking falls off the face of the earth. And I think that's
the big goal. I think the goal is not necessarily to lock him up, because they know, and I think the Justice Department knows that that's a big task, because not only do you have to, prove the allegations in court beyond reasonable doubt, there's also the court of public opinion. And if you have 80 million people that voted for Donald Trump coming and saying, this is a witch hunt, stop doing this, it's going to be really hard for the public to get behind such a court case, right? So that's going to be a challenge. The thing that, is really going to be interesting is what more will come out from this seizure, right? Because,
who else
they
is
could
going
find
down? Because other people will go down, for sure.
Right. But they could find stuff about January 6th there that they've been waiting for, that smoking gun, right? Maybe that's what the documents are. They could be communications. They could be, records. They could be emails, something about his involvement in that event, right? So that's the big question. Is they may find the documents, but they may find more.
We don't know yet. Locke, go ahead.
Here's the thing that I find interesting, because he has been very much an enigma, for me anyway, because he's such a dolt, and he's reckless, and he just doesn't seem that smart. But then if you really dig into this, if you really pay attention to what he's done, how he's done it, the guy might be fucking brilliant. Like, he has negotiated his way into a presidency. He seems like a bumbling idiot, yet he never really hangs himself when he's on stage talking publicly. He, even in his tweets, there's just sort of this element of, what was that? That should get him in trouble? No.
Yeah, but what you're describing? You're describing is fucking one of the greatest strategies, political strategies, media strategies of 2022, in 2021 and 2020, and really since 2016 when Trump became the president of the United States. Pierre Poilievre does it incredibly well. Rupa Subramanian, I think that's how you say her name. She does it well. Rebel News is incredible at it. Andy Lee is incredible at it. All of these shit posters, people that don't tell the truth on a regular basis, are fucking incredible at this thing called victim industry. Like, it is shocking how good Donald Trump is at painting himself as a victim, to the point where he puts out this statement about what happened, where he's like, these are dark times. This is from yesterday. This is the statement from Shithead. These are dark times for our nation. My beautiful home, Mar-A-Lago, Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege. Victim under siege. It's a legal search warrant by the FBI. That's fucking urgent. He's like, I'm under siege, raided, occupied. Some big fucking victim words that we saw for the last 2 years up in this country, right? The ones that Pierre Poilievre uses, the ones that Andy Lee uses, like, oh, woe's me, this is happening to me. It's this incredible victim strategy that has given birth to this victim industry, where they make themselves the victims before anybody knows anything about it, to be able to control the narrative. And when they can't control the narrative, they go fucking ballistic. They go ape shit. They go crazy. They do stuff like Lauren Boebert did. They do stuff like Donald Trump is doing right now. They do stuff like Rupa did on the weekend, where she put out this bullshit story for True North, which is run by this sweaty fucking racist named Andrew Lawton. And she's like, the mandates, the vaccine mandates in Canada were political. They had nothing to do with medicine. These court documents say so. I went through the court documents. It's all bullshit. Like, all of it is bullshit. And no major news outlet picked it up. And after we fucking outed the bullshit, you know what she did? She's like, this is incredible. Woe's me. I can't believe I'm going to start suing everybody now. And then she's like, I need to do a GoFundMe so I can sue people. Well, fuck, Donald Trump wasted no time coming up with a fundraiser to help him fight the United States government. And that just happened this afternoon. He's got a big fucking spread out. Help me fight back against these unjust people. It is this, the kettling of normal people that have like this accountable fucking mindset by these guys who have no idea what the fucking word means. Like absolutely zero. And it's so fucking funny to me because you can smell it. You can see it. Anytime someone puts himself at the center of attention, or anytime someone says these people are doing something to me, when they get caught, it is this, it's like, it's automatic. When they get caught, they come after you and they go, why are you coming after me? Well, because you got caught, you dumb fuck. Like, it's pretty simple to me. We caught you doing bad shit. To that point, there's an article that came out from the University of Calgary in June. Let me put this up. This is fascinating.
I love this.
This is from the University of Calgary, a guy named J.C. Boucher, who is an assistant. You see Jean-Christophe Boucher, Jack Edwards, Jenny Kim, 5 different people at the University of Calgary, all professors, all researchers, all unbiased. This was literally just a study.
What's called
on disinformation and Russian-Ukrainian war, Canadian social media. The summary of this paper was fascinating about the Russian-Ukrainian war leading to large disinformation campaigns, largely spread through social media. Canada has been a target of those influence campaigns to affect Canadian public opinions. In this policy brief, it's a policy brief. It's a paper. It's a fucking study. We venture to examine the prevalence of pro-Russian narratives in Canadian social media, as well as identify major influencers creating and spreading such narratives. Additionally, using artificial intelligence, we seek to examine the reach and the nature of pro-Russian narratives. Our research team has been collecting more than 6.2 million tweets globally since January 2022 to monitor and measure Russian influence operations on social media. We find that pro-Russian narratives promoted in the Canadian media ecosystem on Twitter are divided into 2 communities. Accounts influenced by sources from the United States, those largely influenced by sources from international sources, Russia, Europe, and China. Let me show you that list. This is a fascinating list. Here's the graph. There's the study. It's got Trudeau, President of the United States, Kyiv Independent, Fox News, and then it's got all the shit posters down here, right? Now, Rebel News, you'll notice, is one of them. Canada. Ezra Levant, another one, owner of Rebel News. Canada. This is pro-Russian shit. These people are the biggest shit posters of pro-Russian propaganda or alt-right Russia-friendly bullshit, which Donald Trump and his group are a large part of. And it doesn't matter about the Candace Owens, Jack Posobiec, the guy who we just showed. Tulsi Gabbard is in there as well. And the list is long and stiff as well. These are the top influenced accounts. 6 are from Canada. Tulsi, Jack, I don't know who these guys are. Glenn Greenwald, who we've had on the show. And then the young lady who works for the National Post and True North, Rupa Subramanya. I think I'm saying her last name correctly, and I don't mean to butcher it on purpose at all. Full respect. I just have a hard time saying the last name. Subramanya. She works for True North. She was the person that put out this bullshit article about the government of Canada doing political mandates, not consulting doctors, which is bullshit. Then you got Candace Owens, some dude named Rex Glacer. Again, he's Canadian. No idea who he is. Oh, there we go. Max Bernier. How you doing, Max? Nice to see you.
Leader of the People's Party of Canada, everybody.
Yeah. And then a guy named Dennis
like
Rancourt. No idea.
25% of these Canadians we've had on this podcast.
I know. Andy Lee has been on this podcast as much as a week ago. She's been raging about this, furious that she's on this list, to the point where Rupa, also angry, Ezra Levant's in there as well, Rupa, also angry, said that she's going to sue the people that did the article. She's going to sue them because it's unfair.
Suing the University of Calgary?
She's going to, sue everybody. She threatened to sue me this week, and again starts this victim thing. Andy went all weekend, Dean's this, Dean's that, like retweeting hate speech and all that shit, because she's on that list as well. And it is amazing because when I watch Donald Trump turn this into a victim parade, and I watch those people turn it into a victim parade, it's like the fucking lights went off, boys. It's like the lights went off. That this is literally full-on strategy, and if they couldn't paint themselves as victims, they would all be out of fucking work because nobody takes them seriously. Right? Well,
I think they're just pissed off that the flashlight's being shined at them now. It's like, hey, we see you. I can see what you're doing. It's very obvious. And 5 probably very smart people at the University of Calgary wrote a peer-reviewed study saying, yeah, this is how we see you. Here's the mountains of evidence that we have, the 6.2 million tweets that we collected since January of 2022, showing that you are influenced either by US or by Russian state media. So
yeah, but
like
what'll end up happening, JB, is they'll end up denying it based on the tweets. They got their information wrong. They'll sidestep it. The thing that I find interesting about this whole thing, the more I think about it,
hang on, let me put this one tweet up just to finish off this guy. This is Rupa. This is what she said. This is a couple days ago. A University of Calgary professor, J.C. Boucher, published a report in June putting me on a list of people allegedly spreading Russian disinformation. This claim is libelous, and I'm pursuing legal options. Meanwhile, after I followed him, he restricted my access to his tweets. What's he afraid of? Rupa blocked me, by the way, and every other person that asked her about this. I'm a freelancer, which means I'm poor. I'll most likely need help fundraising money to pursue legal action against University of Calgary's J.C. Boucher. Stay tuned. Fuck off already.
That first slide, Boucher replied. That was the best reply on Twitter, by the way.
This is the guy. She's like, I'm going to sue you. And he's like, that won't be hard.
None of this matters anyway, really. Like, if you think about it, because what I found out, and this, I guess you can consider it breaking news. Like, Freedom Canuck 872 on Twitter said it's fake news. So,
okay.
This is
guys, we
got to
stop talking about it.
Yeah, it's a moot point.
Fake news.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, they have convinced a good chunk of the population that this is fake news, and whether or not we can break it down and have a conversation here about whether or not this is real, or how, is there a chance he's going to go to jail, or how illegal or illegal is this? I mean, we have these constant conversations. I keep going back to the fact that, listen, I realize who this guy is. He's just a pure narcissist. But at the end of the day, is anybody going to start giving him, because we painted him as this buffoon, but I don't think he's going to go to jail for this. And maybe he doesn't go to jail for this because of what JB said, in that they're worried that if they put him in jail, it's going to start a revolution down there. That's still kind of smart. No, like at some point, and I don't want to, but at some point, are we going to look back at this guy and what he did and how he negotiated through these times and go, man, that was fucking, whether you agree with it or not, wow, that was fucking brilliant. Look what this guy did. And he just got to retire, and he's golfing every day until the fucking McDonald's kills his fucking orange ass.
Did you see? Right? Did you see him get heckled at? Did you see him get heckled at his live tour event in Bedminster, New Jersey?
Oh my god!
This is the best thing I've seen in 10 years on the internet.
Because I thought it was fake, and then I realized then I went and did some digging. I'm like, no, these guys are real. I was hard.
Yeah, real, yeah.
Like, it was so good.
Yeah, I don't know who these guys are, but they're fucking
played this
brilliant.
6 times on the show this morning.
Yeah,
so
let's watch it together. This is during the Trump golf course live golf tour event that happened. The Saudi live golf tour. Everybody lost their minds. Watch this. Watch this sweaty fuck try and tee off, and these guys heckle him into drilling his ball into the water. It's brilliant.
Built a golf course just to miss this green.
It's an easy one to miss.
That swing looks a little broken. Was it made in China?
Yeah. What would your followers say if you hit this left?
Oh,
there we go.
I don't know about that, guys.
Oh! A little short, kind of like your second term.
What'd you guys think about saying something in front of the president?
That's Bryson DeChambeau there. Did you see?
DeChambeau, yeah. He's awkward about the whole thing. Is like, you guys shouldn't be doing this, and I don't know how to tell you to go fuck off because you got a camera on me.
Yeah. I would do that. That's the beauty of free speech. Is I should be able to go to the former president and be like, "Hey, you suck at golf, you piece of shit," and like watch him tee off. Like, that's the beauty of it, right?
That's what these guys do. They're a podcast. They're a golf podcast. There's 4 guys, and they go around. And they were at another one. I can't remember who they were talking to, but They were asking questions. They were like they were part of the press gallery, and they asked, "You got a question? Yeah. Why do I have to fight so hard for my father's love?" Like shit like that. It was just so fucking random, and everybody cracked up, right? Like even the golfers were having a good time with it. But then you go and do this to like this is the gem in this.
Someday, like here's the thing about golf. I mean, I don't know how far that hole was, but I'm guessing that old Trumpy had about an 8-iron in his hand.
I'm going to say 160, 170. Yeah, an 8-iron, and he beefed it right into the water after he got heckled, too. Did you see that? He just fucking shoved it right into the water.
Built a golf course just to miss this green.
It's an easy one to miss.
That swing looks a little broken. Was it made in China?
Not too much is made.
Yeah.
He's a grip and ripper, too. Hey?
Yeah. Oh, he hit it fast.
There you go.
You got the ground.
Look
Yeah, watch it land in the water right there.
Oh,
There you go.
a little short, kind of like your
He almost
second
had it.
turn.
he got his fat hips around there too.
What'd you guys think about saying something in front of the
I love that he's whispering.
He's so awkward.
Who, Bryson? Yeah, Bryson's a fuck. He's
So
like
awkward.
he's known as the tour idiot. Actually, him and Dustin Johnson. I have friends that play on the tour, and one guy's like, "You won't find two dumber individuals in Dustin Johnson or Bryson DeChambeau. Literally, the two dumbest people he's ever met." DJ and BC, he calls them two of the dumbest individuals
Probably
on
has
the
some-
fucking planet. Yeah,
Probably has some
Yeah.
bad mojo in that course now that his
Again,
dead wife is living there.
Here's where I'm confused. He just got paid $125 million to play golf. Is he that dumb?
It's true.
maybe not. Yeah. Speaking of dumb, I want to get back to the people that are camped out in front of Mar-A-Lago. Thousands of them. It's like a memorial for Donald Trump.
on.
He's in New York. Oh yeah, and they're upset. This started last night. This lady's name is Rose.
Go home.
It's the sitting
Her
shiva, the
face
sitting
could hold
shitta.
a week's worth of rain too. Look at this. And why? This is the quality of people that are really upset. Donald Trump had a
He's
whole
not
bunch
even
of shit
there.
taken from. Watch
He's
that.
not
I
even
know.
Florida.
I know.
Got that Florida glow.
Watch this.
I think this is really wrong because, okay, if this happened with Trump, why it's not happened before with Hunter? Everybody know what he's doing when he's locked up. Why is not doing with big guy like somebody know who is? Why is not doing something to him? Why is not doing to Nancy Pelosi? Why is not doing to her too? Because her husband, it was the other day he was arrested for DUI, and she went to Taiwan, and the same day that he's supposed to go into court. And what happened? He's out. He's freedom. That's something wrong.
Does she
That's
realize?
the greatest thing I've ever seen. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Does she realize though that if she actually talked to Trump, he wouldn't talk to her?
No,
Like ever. He would have her deported.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what kind of sailor wanna hump bar she plied her trade in, but the quality of trucks there were pretty incredible as well. Look at these sweet rigs that are there to support the big orange man.
No.
Yeah. There's the country music.
There you go. There you go. These
Look
people
at
are all
this.
camped out right in front of Mar-A-Lago.
Looks like Ottawa.
Supporting the guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same thing. Yeah.
If
The
Trump
funny-
was there, he'd phone the police to have them removed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
surprised
the
the
best
neighbors
part.
didn't. The thing I understand about that area of Palm Beach and that island where Mar-a-Lago's on, it's a pretty like upper class, high end neighborhood,
high end. Yeah.
right? Like gated.
didn't want
He's
him
on
there
thin
either.
ice. He's on thin ice as it is there.
I'm sure the homeowners association in that area is kind of shitting a brick right now, being like, "Oh my
Yeah.
fucking god, look at these."
Well, apparently, a bunch
losers."
of they talked to a bunch of people that have homes in the neighborhood, and they're like, "Hey, listen, the faster you can get him in jail, the happier our resale is going to be, and like him to get it because he literally attracts the dumbest rednecks on the planet." Which as you saw there from Rose, who genius, and the people
Gotta get her
who
on the show.
literally spent thousands decaling their trucks with his name. To try to like, they're so tired of people apparently flying up and down the streets. Nobody says anything about him. Nobody talks about it. But like to that point, and you don't think he's going to go to jail? I do. I don't think you.
Do you?
Yeah. And I talked to this guy who was with one of the government agencies yesterday, and he's like, same guy I was telling you about, who you know, and he's like, it's I think it's a matter of time, like because that's not
Really?
something you do to somebody. and go, no big deal. We didn't find much. Like,
This
they
is
know.
unprecedented, though.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is like there's
I think he
nothing
will
to
go to
on
jail.
this.
I think he will go to
Do
jail.
you? Okay.
don't.
I
hope so
still-
too.
I still don't know.
But-
I'd like to see it, but
Yeah.
I honestly think that I think they are. I think the people in power that would make that decision are very concerned about. I mean, like, let's say you took the country and you did split it right down the middle, where 50% are pro-Trump and 50% are not. And then you said, all right, who has the most guns? It's going to be the pro-Trump group.
He'll sail somebody else down on his behalf. Like, he would sell his own kids out to save his ass.
for
And that's
sure he
what's
would.
going to happen here.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people going to prison. Just won't be him.
I
Really?
honestly think, knowing America as much as I do, America doesn't like to look stupid. Well, as much as they are sometimes. No, but hear me out. This is my reason.
All right.
In 2001, in
You don't
2001,
like it, but it happens.
it happened.
every
They
day.
don't like
Yeah.
it though.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, I get it.
2001, when they got attacked in New York, they went to war over that for 3,000 individuals losing their lives, which was a tragic day. I'm not saying it wasn't, but they lost 3,000 people. They went to war for 20 years and ended up losing the war, which is funny. But they went to war over it. And when January 6th happened, and the world saw that happening, and you saw, Canada and all these other countries going, this doesn't look good, America. I think America's embarrassed. And I think the justice system, and I think a majority of Americans don't want to be viewed as this embarrassing democracy on the world stage. So I think they will prosecute Trump and anybody involved in January 6th, and in turn this record seizure. But I don't think it's going to be for a long time, but I think they will go after him, because I think they want to show the world, being like, hey, see, remember, we're the country of law and order. We don't let anybody get away with shit here. I think it's an optics.
That's an interesting take, JB.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting take.
I have a feeling he'll get sentenced to it, and it'll be overturned. Like, a prison sentence will be overturned, but the charges they'll stay,
or whatever it's called.
He'll just they're not going to put him in a box. They won't do
You know what I think?
it.
You know what I think? Two things. Then we can move on from this.
Yeah.
Two things. I think that two things are going to happen. I think he's going to jail. And I think if he doesn't want to go to jail, I think he's going to be forced to cop to a whole bunch of stuff. And I think he's going to be forced to tell everybody who supports him, because this is kind of the end goal in every lawsuit like this, right?
Yep.
Everything is they're going to say, hey, you got a couple choices here, pal. We know you're the former president. You've committed a series of treasonous, seditionist crimes. And you can do one of two things. You can go to jail for a fucking long time, as can your kids, as can your associates, right? All of them. Or you can get up to the stump and say, guys, I made it up. It was a grift. I'm sorry. I hate losing. Don't follow me. I lied. I'm a cheater. I'm full of shit. And they're going to force him to literally abate any responsibility that he has in admitting everything to do with the big lies. So
I think
I
he'd
don't
rather
know
go
if-
to jail than do that.
Oh, I do too. Dude, the guy fundraised off his ex-wife's death and got a tax break for burying her on the first hole of his golf course. So I highly doubt
Stand up,
he's
dude.
going to
Is
go.
that true?
It's true.
100%
Yeah, that's
true.
right.
Yeah.
Very much true.
New Jersey has a very, very lax tax code when it comes to cemeteries and memorials. So he was able to convert some part of the zoning of his fucking course to a cemetery, planted his ex-wife there, and got a tax rebate. 100% true.
It's 100%
You
true.
can't
Yeah.
fucking make this up. It's insane.
Yeah.
So-
That's why I'm saying the guy deserves some credit for being kind of brilliant. I mean,
There's something blindly
he's a
incredible
complete
about it,
piece of
isn't there?
shit.
Yeah, I get it. It's
just-
the ultimate power move all the time, and he
You're
doesn't
too-
give a fuck. Like that's
I
that's
never know
one
if
of the
any of
things
this shit's
I kind
true
of
anymore
because most people but most people get to the point in their lives where they're like, "Ooh, I'm running out of goodwill here. I should probably stop doing this." This guy's like, fuck it, bury her on the tee block.
Pile it
Doesn't
on.
matter.
Put her under the
You're
women's
too-
tees on hole 1. It should be fine.
Your two choices though that you say, I think you're right, Dean. I think Melania will be in the back. I think you should take option number 1, Donald.
Yeah. So
She wants him in prison.
The other thing they do not want is they don't want him running again. And I think that makes more sense. If he's got an ace in the hole,
he'll have an ace in the hole.
Can't even
I'm
get
running.
to the green, let alone get an ace in the hole. Like,
I think that's going to be what they pull when they pull him into a room and they give him that list of things they need. One of them is going to be, all right, we can make this all go away. And I think it was JB that said it. As long as you don't run in the next election.
Well, and I think he's also banking on a Republican getting in at some point. And if he does serve 5, 10, whatever years for his crimes, he'll just get pardoned. You don't think that Republican-loving president would just say, hey, you're good. Right? Here's your pardon. Thanks for your time.
I don't know, man. Like the tide is turning.
Huge.
He has pissed so many people off. Somebody quite some time ago, I can't remember who it was, but it was who lives in New York? What's it? I think it might have been De Niro. I saw him in an interview, and De Niro he's like, well, I'm a New Yorker. We've known about this piece of shit for years.
Yep.
Why is it taking you guys so long to he was mad. And I think New Yorkers hate him because he's been living in that state and he has been a raging cock for years, forever. And he's gotten away with all of these things. He's made money, lost money. I mean, there's questions about whether or not he even has any money at all. And now what he's done is he just took it from one platform and just took it to the next level. And now we're all catching up. Everyone's catching up. And the thing I think is happening is I think he's just burned. He's burned so many bridges and he's just been such a raging cock now on the world stage that America, even Republicans are going,
too much of a cock.
We can't have this guy around.
We like cocks, but not that much. That's basically what they're saying.
Too much cock.
Too much cock.
There's a lot of cock there.
This cock is too much.
We like secret cocks. That's
Yeah. That's a great point, dude. And you're seeing all kinds of people come out in support of him too. That are still, and not just the regular crazies, but I saw a tweet from this guy named Paul Gosar, who's an Arizona representative, congressman. Who's like, we're going to fight like hell to defund the FBI. And right underneath that was a picture of Paul Gosar going, sounds like Trudeau's got some competition. And it was a picture of him with Pierre Poilievre. And I started going, I wonder if this is sending a little shiver up the spine of conservatives here in this country who have literally helped plan, promote our own January 6th, which was the convoy. Right. And a lot of the stuff that we're seeing get pushed towards Republicans, get pushed towards those clearly guilty parties of the GOP and Trump and his friends. I wonder how much of that is a global effort where you've got governments kind of coordinating and saying, listen, we need to go after bad actors. Because if I'm in the Conservative Party, if my name is Candace Bergen, if my name is Pierre Poilievre, Jerry Shapur, Stephen Harper, if I was connected to any part of those convoys, anything to do with the insurrection and the unrest in this country, of an illegal occupation in an attempt to take out a duly elected government, I would be shitting my fucking pants right now. Because my spidey senses and some conversations that I've had is that this isn't just happening in the United States, the shit eating season, where people, because I don't know if you guys have felt the same thing. JB, I'd love your thoughts. I'd love everybody's thoughts. Are you not starting to feel the tide change a little bit back to a little bit more of an objective reality where certain people are being actually dealt with? It's happening in this country. I'm starting to see it. And it is really happening in the United States as of today. Do you think that some people here are shitting their pants? And would you have cause for concern? What does this mean for Canada and people that use the same, victim industry politics strategy, the same conservative ideologies? We're seeing liars get fucking called out, drawn on the carpet, and dealt with, but with FBI fucking raids, JB.
So I wrote a paper in university, and I'll see if I can find the paper and send it to you guys. I think I have it somewhere, that talked about and this was in 2013, talking about the rise of populism in Western politics, so United States, Canada, whatever. Remember, populism is what got in World War II, which got fascist governments in power. They used fear and intimidation to scare the populace to thinking like, oh, the current government and the current system is bad. You need to pick us because we're going to make everything better. Look how bad they are. And then when they get caught out for their shit, they use victim blaming to say we're the victims, we're being politically persecuted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's exactly what, you know, I hate to say the name, but that's exactly what Hitler did. That's what Mussolini did when they both got arrested for their things, the shit they were doing. And it's repeating itself. Now, I'm not saying that Pierre Poilievre and Donald Trump are as bad as those two individuals, because they're not, but it's a rise of it. And I think it's kind of telling that people on that side of the political spectrum are weaponizing populism again in order to get into power. Because the thing with populism is they will say literally anything to get elected, to get into power. But then once they're in power, they actually have a hard time keeping power because the general population looks at that and goes, oh, you're an idiot. Right? Like, I can see through your shit now that you're in power and you're not actually doing anything, because that doesn't make them good leaders. It's just they say whatever they want to get into power. And I think Canada is now facing what the United States went through in 2016 with this election that we're inevitably going to face potentially as soon as next year, depending how this agreement between the Liberal and the NDP lasts.
Coalition.
Right? Yeah, well, coalition. But you know, that might be falling through, as Jagmeet Singh talked about yesterday. So the reality is Canada is facing this decision now, and the leadership election that's happening this fall with the Conservative Party is going to be that test. And the Conservative Party is the first test. What path do they want to go down? Traditional progressivism with Jean Charest, or do they want to go down the populism route with Pierre Poilievre? Then Canada decides what they want to do.
Oh, PP is going to win.
Oh, I have no doubt he is. I have no doubt.
Yeah.
And you already won.
The thing is, I understand what you're saying, but I also think that populism, that fascism is a product of a broken system. And listen, I'm not suggesting that communism is the right path, or none of it.
I'm not making that suggestion either. I'm just saying that.
No, I just think that we are in a time where there is a lot of angst about the world that we live in, and I think that both sides need to be, I think, cognizant of their involvement in it. And people they're being pushed away from more traditional or to more extremes politically because of the dissatisfaction with the world that we live in right now, unfortunately. And again, I'm seeing signs of it constantly, and it's not just Rose, or we had Dorothy on this morning that seems to be quite fond of Trump as well. And she sounded like Rose's sister. And I'm pretty sure back in the 50s took a class on how to roll her own cigarettes.
With Rose?
Yeah, with Rose. Rose and Dorothy were in grade school together. Yeah.
That's a great point. It bears.
I
mean, but everything we've seen down there has ported its way up here, and you have the same identity politics, the same people, the same script, the same fucking playbook, the same populist bullshit, the same fear mongering, and these people are deeply involved. Like the Conservative Party, Pierre Poilievre, other people are deeply involved with the same assholes who like to fucking drive their little mini trucks and mini cars and pretend they're somebody across the country and treat people in that nation's capital in this province like absolute dog shit. So I have a feeling that this is kind of an interesting wake-up call. And, the fascinating part is that the playbooks are the same. Like for the Conservative Party in this province, for the Conservative Party in this country, for the GOP down there, it's fearmonger, populist bullshit, tell people that they're in trouble, collect their money, ascend to power, and then deal with the ramifications later. Well, these are the ramifications later, is that the president of the United States, for the first time in world history, the most recent president, had his home raided by the FBI, and you're going to see all of it. And on top of it today, the House got his tax returns. They got all of his taxes. and they're going to start bleeding through those over the last 10, 15 years. They're going to start going through those. And on top of it, he's in deep shit in Georgia. And he can say, look over here. You can say, look over there. You can say it's a witch hunt. But in the end, and we don't have any of that information yet, right? When we get that information, you're going to see people shit their pants. Just like I watched Rupa and Andy shit their pants when they found themselves on this list, which we may or may not have published with glee, calling them the top Russian influencers of disinformation in the world. This isn't just in Canada. This is in the world. There's Andy Lee. There's Rupa. She works for the National fucking Post, which is owned by Chatham Asset Management, which is a hedge fund that is partly owned by David Pecker from the National Enquirer. They own the National Post, 66% of it. I know David Pecker is one of my favorite names. It is like all the strategies of the bots and the misinformation and the campaigns and shit like that. It is all going to come to a head in the next year to 2 years. I truly do believe
you know where I think you're wrong, Dean? I think you're wrong in that guys like PP with the strategy and the focus and the determination to for the goal that they've sort of put in front of them, I think largely are of the belief, and this is their arrogance, are largely of the belief that the majority of the people that they're going after will not buy into this mainstream narrative, which is what you're suggesting they're scared of. The people that are going to vote for him and put him in power and eventually put him in control of the country and take out Justin Trudeau, I've called it, he's not going to change his tune. This doesn't have any impact on his plan moving forward, because he knows that if he had even remotely strays from that line and shows any weakness, he's going to go down like Aaron O'Toole. Boom. They're just going to force him out. So he's got to stay true to that. And he's going to, because he knows that path is fine with the people that he is going after. The people that believe what they believe, that the mainstream is that they're never going to stumble onto this podcast or spend any time listening to it or watching your tweets or listening to anything you say.
They might because of you. You're our window into the alt-right.
So honestly, I don't think that any of this shit has any impact on them at all. It will not phase them. They'll look at that and go,
but dude, you don't like if we get receipts. So let me ask you guys a question. And Linz, I'd love you to weigh in on this. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that, let's say in the next week or so, the FBI is like, press conference, let's talk about what we found, and they show serious receipts of like selling state secrets, that like real shit, the shit where it's like immutable. Do you think that those people will say it's all made up?
Yeah.
You think those people will say, hey, listen, you guys just, you invented all these receipts. You invented this evidence.
The only
you think that's
one
what they're
going
to
to convince is Rose. Rose is going to come around, I think.
Yeah.
Rose will believe anything you tell her.
No, they'll say it's made up. They already are.
Rose's husband's like, you're beautiful every morning. She's like, thank you.
You're beautiful. I'm so glad I got you new teeth.
Wake up every morning looking at that beautiful face. Rose is like, thank you very much.
I love being lied to.
I love it. Keep lying. I don't know. I wonder if like receipts will change opinion. I don't know. I don't see it.
To answer your first question about, if people realize what's going on, I think it's more of us putting that projection on them of how we would feel if we were called out on the carpet when we do something wrong. You're injecting your moral system into them, and it's not there, so they don't feel that.
Yeah.
And what we're getting is the Schadenfreude is more. We've spent the last 2.5 years, especially, actually more if you can count, when Trump got elected. We've spent all this time going, where is the fucking truth? Like, why isn't the truth that, like, how are we not? We're finally starting to see that process of here are the receipts, and people are going, this is irrefutable. Like, facts still matter to most normal people. I think, like I'm hopeful that normal level-headed individuals are still okay with facts, and we're starting to see that now. And I think thinking about you're trying to put your shoes on them, and It doesn't work that way. There's a whole different moral system going on there. So I don't think, I think they know it, but they're just going to keep digging, and they're just going to keep digging their heels and then trying to fight their way out of it. Because I think you're right. They're trying not to look stupid, but they know they're stupid.
Too late.
I wanted to clear something else up. That graphic of the actual the numbers, the studies, with the names on it. You want to throw that up just real quick for a second?
Yeah. This one.
Yeah. So we've been saying that, you know, Rupa and Alex or sorry, Andy or the Russian
Ezra.
Yeah, it's not. If you look, it's actually U.S. influence on that side and Russian influence on the other side. So if we're gonna, we need to be factual too. So the study actually points to they're influenced by U.S. when those U.S. are usually influenced by Russia, but still, it's a trickle down. So if we're going to be held accountable to facts, we should probably make that clear.
Well, the funny thing though is, Ryan.
Well, I'm not. I lie.
That,
I lie my ass off all the time.
Go ahead.
No, Rupa even said that, like, I was placed on a report saying I was Russian influence, which we corrected it, saying no, it clearly says U.S. influence. Yeah, see, list of people allegedly spreading Russian disinformation. Like she didn't even read it right. So
yeah, but we keep on referring to it as they're on a list of a bunch of Russian disinformation, and we're not actually. That's not accurate. So
well, hold it though. Russian-Ukrainian war team 6.2 million. Russian
pro-Russian narratives.
Pro-Russian narratives on Canadian social media. Yeah. Russian-Ukraine war research has been collecting. First pro-Russian Canadian discourse blame Twitter, NATO. Yeah. Okay. Well, I that we're having JC Boucher on next week.
Yeah,
but
awesome.
It's
good.
But my understanding
More
is that you happy to clear it up. My understanding is that those people are disinformation on not for the Russian government, which I actually said in the actual article. What I said was it was people that are either unwitting or whose ideologies line up with the same rage farmers that like to support this, right? Coming out of Russia. Yeah. That is U.S. based. My understanding was that these guys were Russian influenced, U.S. influence. So, but for the same reasons, if I'm not mistaken, for that
it's misinformation, right?
Yeah, it's just what pipeline is it coming from? I think is the thing.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll ask JC. He's on with us next week. But I appreciate you doing that because you're right. You want to be accurate when you're talking about these things, and I think that the accurate portion of that is that they're just shit posters.
At the end of the day, they're just they're bullshit fucking peddlers, and it doesn't matter what country it's from. I don't care what country it's from, but I just don't want to be called. Well, you don't even know what you're fucking talking about, because that's what we're going to hear from Freedom Canuck 682 on Twitter.
Haven't heard any of that yet. No, haven't heard any of that. I've just
all I care about is whether or not Rose comes around.
Rose, yeah.
We gotta get in touch with Rose.
She's a goer.
I think this is really wrong.
Baby.
Because, okay, if this happened with Trump, why has not happened before with Hunter? Everybody know what he's doing when he's locked up. Why is not doing with big guy, like somebody know who is? Why is not doing something to him? Why is not doing to Nancy Pelosi?
I don't even understand. The only thing I understood in there was Nancy Pelosi.
I heard Hunter.
Hunter's laptop. She brought up
same stuff.
It's all the same stuff.
Programmed.
Right?
It's programmed.
You know she has that same conversation with like a person at a mall kiosk. Like that's her life. Going around and reciting the same thing over and over again. Like she
just
finally
wanted to
she got a
see
camera.
If you wanted hair extensions, Rose.
Yeah, but Hunter Biden's laptop. Okay, great. Do you want to buy this chair, like this massage chair? No, like okay, go away. Like
this lotion will make you look 10 years younger. Honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's one hell of a lotion.
Yeah.
Is the lotion made by Dulux?
The lotion you're referring to is facial surgery. I believe it's reconstruction.
Bingo keeps
Canadian
coming
Gypsum
up
Company.
Bingo has come up 10 times in the comments section.
Conan O'Brien just tweeted out, which I find funny, is I wonder if the FBI found all the burner toilets. Which I find absolutely hilarious.
Fascinating. I have a
Sometimes
feeling
he
this
just hits.
I have a feeling this
Somebody-
is one of those things where you take your finger out of the dike, and the whole dam breaks, like everything. Like that's what I think is going to
Do
happen.
you? I don't know,
Yeah, I
man.
do.
I hope so, because I'd like to see the fallout, but I'm not sure. Like it's not because I don't want it to happen. I'd love to see it happen. I just don't trust that system. It seems that the people, like I cannot believe that Bill Cosby is out of jail. I'm sorry. Like that is just
On a
complete
technicality,
bonkers to me. That is so insane to me. OJ almost cut his wife's boyfriend's head off, and that dick is golfing every day. Like it's crazy to me.
Putting out videos.
That is nuts.
Putting out Twitter videos about this. He put one out this morning. He's like, Donald Trump's in deep trouble.
Twitter world.
hey, Twitter world.
It's nuts. It's crazy. If you've got some fame and some money, you can get away with anything down there.
Yeah, you sure can.
Dean, can you put up the picture of the toilet again with the notes in it?
Sure.
Two things I noticed. One, on the left, notice the shit stain right above the bowl there. There's a little
that little
mark.
turd. Yeah, that's
the little
guy,
mark.
I think, yeah.
The second,
sometimes you spray, right?
Yeah,
You get his little skitter every once in a while.
The second thing is I noticed the note on the right says Rogers. So my conspiracy theory brain is saying he was involved in the Rogers outage. Just saying. There's the evidence. He's flushing the evidence. Right. That's clear. All right. That's my dumb joke for the show. Okay.
No, I like it. I like it. I don't know if you guys watch. Stefanik is on there too. At least Stefanik from New York. I don't know if you guys watched the reaction on Fox News. Like the first, I don't have Fox News. Anybody here have Fox News? Don't have it.
Remember, I was talking to you last night on the phone.
I flip it on every once in a while. It's a trip, man. It's
Lachlan's homepage.
Yeah. So I was watching it. This is like if you live in Alberta, this is the only free channel you get. I hear.
Actually, I had to pay for it. It's not
Didn't the UCP include it when they got elected? Didn't they say that they were going to include it?
No friggin' joke. I traveled to Edmonton for work, and I went to the hotel, and I turned on the hotel, and the first channel that was on was Fox News. Didn't have CNN at the hotel. They had Fox News, which I found.
All right, vegan boy. Like, let's make some more fucking stereotypes about Alberta just because you turned on the fucking TV and some redneck was in there. We're paying the whole province.
Stereotypes because sometimes they're true.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
He's not negatively stereotyping Alberta.
No,
I am.
Oh yes, he is.
No,
I know he is.
He's talking about going to a hotel in Alberta and having the one channel that comes on first being Fox News. I'm negatively stereotyping Alberta. He's not. Okay.
I'm just stating what I saw.
That's my job.
Well, if you look at the last thing I searched on my phone on Safari, it's going to probably upset your day.
Asshole tanning.
Was it my OnlyFans?
Anyway, this was the reaction on Hannity last night.
I still haven't got to the point where I'm going to be able to go to your OnlyFans yet, Cheap King. I just I'm gonna need to work up to being able to see your hammer. It's
Before we get to his hammer, I want to play a Hannity losing his mind last night on Fox. It was like DEFCON 12.
Others. Make no mistake, if you're associated with Donald Trump in any way, you better cross all your I's and dot all your T's because they're coming for you with the full force of the federal government.
The camera pan from the guy with the note.
Fake news, CNN, something. That was funny.
Dude, I'm gonna get. I found a place I could stream Fox News. I'm gonna watch it all night tonight. I cannot wait. It's like the only time I've ever been like looking forward to watching the news. Yeah,
smoke a big joint and sit and watch Fox News. You'll have a good howl.
Die laughing. Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Like when
crazy,
that house is on fire in your neighborhood, you just want to go watch it. You're not excited that it's happening, but you just kind of want to go watch the fire and the fire trucks and the activity, right? That's my.
Well, it's like the crack house in your neighborhood that's been operating as a crack house for a long time, and the cops can't do anything about it. It's like it's on fire, and the goal is to go and watch this and go. You know what? Go get the sticks. Go get the marshmallows. That'll be me tonight. Sticks and marshmallows, and I'm gonna be roasting. I'm gonna be making fucking Schadenfreude s'mores, watching Fox News all night long. Really looking forward to it.
The FBI pulled Oz's curtain back yesterday, is what this is, and this is the beginning of everybody figuring out that Oz isn't real.
Yes, looking forward to it. Anyway, boys, we'll cut it short. I know Locke's got to.
today. Okay.
Yeah, you got to go to the bathroom. I know. You gotta go to the bathroom.
Big dump.
Yeah, no. I've got a meeting, which I will shit before I go
In the
to,
bathroom.
but it's about the meeting, not so much the shit.
All right, we'll cut it short. Lock
JB,
across 957
JB.
Cruise FM at Edmonton.
Talk soon, my friend.
Linz, thank you very much.
Thanks,
you,
buddy.
pal.
We'll talk to you soon. Bit of a technical delay there. Follow him on Twitter at Lock and Cross. That is Ryan Lindley from the Sheeple Shepherd podcast. At Ryan Lindley on Twitter is where you can find him. Download his podcast as well, called the Sheeple Shepherd podcast. And he's got a couple of great pieces, including the Trump Roundup and some stuff out of ERs, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, actually, on the show. How ERs are collapsing around this country, and the provincial government in each province is to blame. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. But read Ryan. He's got a great little Twitter feed, and he's also got some great stuff up at deanblundell.com now. Thanks for doing this, brother. Thanks.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too. Ryan Lindley, ladies and gentlemen, and that is JB, Sheep King JB. Do you got a show tonight?
No, tonight. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I got a show tomorrow night. Last night I had probably the most racist guy ever on the history of my show. He said some terrible, terrible things. Anybody who was watching, I see some familiar names in the chat tonight, today. They can contest to how bad this person was. It's the first time I've ever had to cut somebody off my show. And I usually let these idiots rant. I usually let them go, right? But he was saying so many bad things that I had to say, I'm going to lose my account. Like, if you continue to say this stuff, I'm going to be done. Like, I'm done.
What do you say?
So, he had a lot of anti-Semitism, which was, that's the classic. He said that Indigenous people don't work and they just fuck the dogs all day on the reserves, and that they should go fix the clean drinking water themselves instead of getting the government to do it.
Pretty racist.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Like, it was bad.
They're all out there. That's one of the more amazing parts about the time that we live in is it's almost like the hard right has made racism just an alternative opinion.
Yeah. And he was openly admitting it. Like, he did not care. Like, I straight up said, him, like, that's the most racist thing I heard. He's like, well, okay, I guess it is. Like, he just owned his personality. I was like, oh my God.
Was he raging, or was he like talking about it like matter of fact racism?
The episode will be out today on the podcast, because I put all my shows up as a podcast that you can get to on any podcast player you choose. So you can go listen to it today. It's 75 minutes of just blubbering. Like, we went from everything from Trump to Freedom Convoy to Trudeau to, World War II history. Like, we were all over the map. But every now and then he would drop this little racist bomb to end his point. And it was like, wow. Like, I don't know where I find these people, but they love to come talk.
I think they find you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed about this group is that they go looking for opportunities to try to speak their bullshit to other groups of people, like, especially if they know it's going to offend somebody, and if it's an opportunity for them to evangelize their racism, right? Or to prophesy their relationship. It's like this pastoral need that these fucking losers have to be able to go and get on some kind of platform. I mean, I think by and large, most of those people were just such fucking losers when they grow up that they've never been to anything. And they grew up in these shitty racist families, had shitty racist parents, or came from terrible homes. And it's like a lot of these people feel like they are somebody now, right? And it goes for, everybody that loves to sling disinformation or be a fly in the ointment of the greater good. It's like, hey, listen, I'm fucking somebody right now. I'm somebody to a group of people. It doesn't matter that those group of people are fucking raging Nazi alcoholics, losers, completely emotionally detached from reality. What matters is that they open their eyes and someone tweeted them that morning, or someone agreed with something they said, so they felt validated, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the more amazing parts of the last several years has been the alternative opinion of racism as an allowed acceptable fact, or an allowed acceptable thing for people to be or feel, right? Like, you shouldn't be upset with me, and I should be allowed to embrace whatever, Eastern Anglo-Saxon views that I hold, and you should be okay with it. And fuck, nobody's okay with it because it's backward shit. It's hateful.
Well, yeah, and I think the other thing too is he wanted to get a reaction from me. I just wasn't having it because, as you know, and I've said this before in private, but I'll say it publicly here, I consume about 1 or 2 cannabis drinks before every one of my shows. So I'm calm. Like, you could tell me the worst news, I'd be like, all right, sure. Like, it's just because I purposely get myself in this mindset that I'm going to be talking to people that will infuriate me. So I get myself in a mindset that I can't, that doesn't, I don't react to it. Right. And I think it wasn't really working for him. And he kept laying on the racism more and more and more extreme to try to get me reaction. And when I finally said, I'm cutting you, he lost his shit. He was all happy about that. Right. But I had to. And that wasn't because he was right. It was that I had to cut him off because I didn't want to lose my channel. Like, I didn't want to get in trouble, right? And that's the joys of this social media thing that we do, right? Like, you can say things and you can reply to people, but sometimes you get looped in with these idiots because you're retweeting them or you're taking their videos and putting them up. Like I've been banned on TikTok a couple times because of things they said, despite me trying to prove them wrong or call them out or what have you, right? Because the algorithm thinks that I'm saying this shit, which I'm not. So. Yeah, it's I don't know why I do it, but it's fun.
Well, because it's entertaining. You know what? It is like a car accident, right? You want to slow down. You want to see the damage. You want to see if it's real because it's not something you see all the time. And like we've heard about these people, like you're like, oh, fuck, what's it like to be one of them? I want to like that's why we had Andy on last week. I'm like, I want to find out what it's like to be in the head of somebody that actually believes any of the bullshit that they sling.
She's still going off about being on here. Like she's still going off about it.
Oh, is she really?
Oh, yeah. Like every 2 seconds, she's retweeting something about the show or what have you, or, the allegations that, the fake allegations that have come across, all of us that were grooming pedophile, like losers, right?
Is she retweeting the groomer pedophile stuff?
I haven't seen anything like that from her, but like I'm sure in the thread of her tweets, there's those comments, right? So
those fucking losers. They'll say the same fucking shit, right? Like, it's all the same shit. And it's common for them. Like, and that's the thing is that, and I try to tell this to my kids and they're like, well, we'd like to see it one day. And I'm like, no, dude, bad people pay consequence. There's a tax to being a terrible fucking individual. Yeah. And that tax you're watching.
For being an idiot, right?
Yeah. There's a tax for everything. There's a tax for every decision you make in your life. There's a tax for everything you do, whether it be good or bad. The negative tax associated with people just saying, hey, we can act like complete, irrelevant, racist assholes. We can do whatever we want. We can side with theocracy. We can side with division. We can pretend that science isn't real. It's coming for all those people. Like, it's just an immutable fact is that there's going to be a time, and I said this during the pandemic, there's going to be a time when everybody's going to go, scrub the Facebook accounts. Hurry up. Right? Because it's immutable.
I have a friend who's thinking about running for municipal office this October in the city that she lives in. And she's scrubbing her Twitter like hard right now. Like she's going back deep into her socials to scrub anything that would be viewed as like wrong or bad take or whatever, because she doesn't want it being unearthed. Like she doesn't want it being shown. And
what is it?
That's just the reality she has to do. So
what is it?
It's nothing bad. Like she sent me some stuff. It's nothing terrible. Like the things she sent me, just embarrassing things, right? Things you tweet out when you're a dumb teenager or something like that. Like just dumb tweets, right? Just scrubbing it to be extra, right? And but the thing is, Dean, and I'm sure you know this, the internet never forgets. Like I could never run for public office because my penis is on the internet. So like that's out. Like that option is gone. So it is what it is, right? Even though mine's behind a paywall, it's still there, right? And it still exists. So, right?
I'm sure your wiener's online somewhere. We can see it. I'm sure you don't have to pay to see your wiener if you look hard enough. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, it's leaked. I'm sure it's leaked. I'm sure you could look it up. I'm sure it's leaked.
For sure it is. But for sure it is. Thanks for doing this, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for hanging out.
Anytime. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk soon.
Okay, pal. There you go. Sheep King JB, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, got some spam up here. We get spammed in the middle of the show. It's fucking great to watch, actually. Thanks, JB. At Sheep King JB is where you can follow him. Oh, the spammers, eh? That's what happens when you start talking about this stuff. You get like hammered with spam in the comment section about dating and girls and banging. We don't play that here. Okay. Anyway, thanks everybody. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget, we are powered by our friends at kivlaw.ca. If you're looking for a defense attorney, you're looking for legal advice, legal help, anything to do with legal, kivlaw.ca is your one-stop shop for people that actually give a shit about you and the legal process. They want to give you every opportunity to succeed through whatever legal issue you could be encountering. Doesn't matter if you did it, you've been accused of doing it, doesn't matter. You got to have someone ride shotgun that knows the legal system back to front and then can kind of comfort you through the process, because it is scary. If you haven't been through it and you need to get some good advice, kivlaw.ca. Rob and his group are the best, wonderful people. They will help you. So make sure that you go to the right people. The only people I trust. Kivlaw.ca. Robert at kivlaw.ca. Check him out today. Again, special thanks to our friends at kivlaw.ca defense attorneys. If you need one, they're the best. Also, hello and thank you to our friends at Ed's Fine Imports. His Gitch are the only underwear we wear, and you should wear them too. Luxury branded boxer briefs, pouch in the front, super breathable. You'll love them. And your promo code Gitch and then the number 3, you get a free pair when you order 3 or more. Massive online store, huge selection right now, clothing for men and boys as well. But get his luxury branded underwear, Gitch, Gitch. Sign up for their newsletter, and you'll get daily deals, daily promo codes, daily tips on how to dress and what's in and what's out, so that you know what you're doing. These guys actually care about how you look. So go to edsfineimports.com for more details. And Easy Auto Financial, helping you get in cars, of course, powered by Easy Auto Financial, people that get you credit. Depending on your credit, doesn't matter to them. They don't care. If you got bad credit, good credit, they just want to make sure you get the car you want. And it's as easy as possible. It's all turnkey. Give them an opportunity to earn your business, and I guarantee you they'll do an absolutely incredible job if you're looking for a vehicle. Again, easyautofinancial.ca. No obligation to sign up, nothing. Just go and check them out. And if you're looking for a vehicle and you want someone to do all that legwork to get your financing, oh, by the way, free financing from easyautofinancial.ca. They'll get it for you. Again, easyautofinancial.ca. Have a great day. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow, I don't know if you guys have seen this show on Netflix. It's called Trainwreck, Woodstock 1999. Highly recommend you watch it. Weird, because I contacted Ray Maida from Our Lady Peace about it. I'm like, you were there, right? He's like, yeah, it was insane. So anyway, Rain watched it. He's going to come on with us tomorrow afternoon, right around 3 o'clock. Rain Maida from Our Lady Peace on Woodstock, blah-da-da-da-da. Trainwreck 99, what was it like? It was intense. I don't know if you've seen it, but I highly recommend you watch it. Really, really good. If you want to know what happened at Woodstock 99. Nothing good, I can tell you that. And Fred Durst was a jerk, apparently. Anyway, that's tomorrow. Have a great day. We'll see you then.